Does he gotta get the stoppage?
Welcome to 2 Cents Boxing, where we talk everything boxing. Make sure to punch that like and subscribe button. Seriously, hit it like it owes you money. Want to go the extra mile? Drop a super chat or donate to the Cash App, because who doesn't love supporting quality content? Catch me live every Friday at 6:30 p.m. and Sunday at 5 p.m. See you there.
Hi, welcome to the channel. I'm Jay, and this is our 2 cents, where we talk everything boxing, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. In today's video, we will be discussing Shakur, Soft Touch Stevenson, and does his performance this weekend have to end in a knockout or a stoppage? But before we do that, make sure you punch that like and subscribe button, and make sure you let me know and drop it below your 2 cents as I go throughout the video. Now, I'm not sure if you've heard, but I'm sure you have. Floyd Schofield Sr. has been told by the British Boxing Board Commission, whatever it's called, that he is not able to fight. He was hospitalized overnight, and according to them, that's a rule where if you're hospitalized overnight, you can't fight. Don't quote me on that. I heard that on the YouTube streets. Not sure how true it is, but sounds logical, so we're gonna go with that. Now, why Schofield ended up in the hospital, it's a whole conspiracy behind that. Some people say he was poisoned. Some people say he was trying to make weight. It's a lot of rumors and conspiracies going on about that, but that's another video. We're not talking about that right now. So, fortunately, Turkey had a backup opponent available for Shakur Stevenson in Josh Padley. I think that's his name, but Padley is his last name, right? He is, I don't know what his record is, but he has 4 knockouts, like a 26% knockout ratio, and he took the fight on short notice. So they're supposed to be fighting on Saturday. Now, there's a lot of mixed feelings going around the YouTube streets on if he has to have a great performance, on if he has to get a knockout, or if it'd be cool if he win by a 12-round decision. There's a lot of different opinions about that. So I want to come on here and give my 2 cents about the situation. Now, I was really excited to see Shakur Stevenson fight Kid Austin, because I wanted to see, even though I thought Shakur would beat Kid Austin, potentially stop him in the later rounds, get a stoppage in the later rounds, I wanted to see how Shakur looked against a hard-hitting pressure fighter. Now, he's not the greatest, right? But I just wanted to see how Shakur would overcome that, basically. And now, since we don't get that opportunity, he's going to be fighting a replacement opponent, and I think that this could possibly be more dangerous than fighting Schofield. Sometimes the replacement opponent could be a tad bit more dangerous. Now, it could go the other way. They could have just grabbed somebody, he out of shape, he just taking the fight the last minute to get paid, and he drained because he had to hurry up and cut weight because it could be one of those situations, or it could be a situation to where this fighter is actually ready to get in the ring. They knew that they were going to be the replacement opponent. They did what they were supposed to do, train, camp, whatever the case may be. Who knows, right? I'm not sure what the drug testing protocols are going to be now, since he's a last minute opponent. And I'm not sure if he's like a last minute opponent. I'm not sure if he's let me say this. I'm not sure if he's a last minute opponent or if he's a replacement opponent. Let me tell you what I mean. To me, a replacement opponent means they knew something happened, you jumping in, so they should have been ready. A last minute opponent is just somebody you calling that's willing to fill in. They not necessarily ready. They not necessarily might have been at the weight or something of that nature. So that's one thing to think about. The next thing to think about is Shakur Stevenson has not been preparing for this opponent. He was practicing and training. I mean, he was training for a completely different style with Floyd Schofield. He wasn't training to fight Padley. So, and of course, Shakur Stevenson is an elite fighter. He definitely should be able to make the adjustments and, not necessarily have to have the full training camp to be able to overcome whatever it is that Padley has for him. He should be able to get in the ring and make the adjustments because he's an elite fighter. But I believe this might be a tad bit more pressure on Shakur because now you were already fighting Schofield, who just wasn't the most competitive opponent that you could have been fighting. Now it appears that you're fighting an even less competitive opponent. So now there's even more pressure for you to perform. People are saying you have to get a knockout. And I feel like to fight after fight after fight, Shakur Stevenson is putting himself or ends up finding himself in these pressure situations with these fights where he has such an immense amount of pressure to perform and then he doesn't. And so I'm wondering if he's feeling more pressure or less pressure for this fight because there is now an immense amount of pressure for Shakur Stevenson to perform. Do I think Shakur Stevenson needs a knockout just to give my 2 cents? No, I do not think Shakur Stevenson needs to get a knockout. It would be great for him to get a knockout. It would make things even better. But I think Shakur Stevenson needs to go in there. He needs to put on a great a dominant performance. I don't necessarily think Shakur Stevenson has to get a knockout, but I definitely think Shakur Stevenson has to put on a dominant performance. He has to dominate the whole fight. It can't be like I'm struggling and he getting me, I gotta figure it out type of fight. Even though if it's that type of fight, maybe Padley is a good opponent. But I'm just telling you how the fans will react, the optics of it, in my opinion. This is my 2 cents. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just giving my 2 cents. So I think that Shakur Stevenson has to go in there and put on a dominant performance. And that leads me to my next point. If Shakur Stevenson doesn't put on a dominant performance, let's say Padley is aggressive coming forward, Shakur Stevenson, he doing this pop shot and he moving around, and let's say the Saudi judges don't care about, let's say how y'all say, let's say the Saudi judges don't know shit about boxing, the sweet science, and they give Padley the fight because Shakur's fighting style isn't favored in Saudi. Not to mention, no African American fighters have won in Saudi. You got Deontay Wilder, he lost. Tevin Former, he lost. Ray Ford, he lost. So are you telling me Shakur Stevenson will be the first African American fighter to win in Saudi? Just another thing to take into consideration. I'm just making an observation, y'all. I'm not saying that's what it's gonna be. I'm not saying that. I'm just telling you the things that I've observed and giving you some things to think about, because this is the type of stuff I think about. So you got Shakur Stevenson with a replacement opponent last minute. We don't know what kind of shape he's in. We're not sure what kind of drug testing they've been doing. We don't know if he's a replacement opponent or if he's a backup opponent. Then we got Shakur with the immense amount of pressure to absolutely have to be dominant in this fight and perform. At the very least, he has to be dominant in this fight. Then we have the fact that no African American fighters have won over there in Saudi. Did they deserve to win? Did they get raw? I don't know. That's another question for another video. I'm just making that observation. And then you got Shakur Stevenson's fighting style that might not be favored in Saudi. If he's not dominant and he, does that I'm surviving pop shot and moving around type of thing. But I don't think any of those things will happen. I do think that Shakur Stevenson will be able to get in the ring and perform and put on a dominant performance and move forward. What that will do for his stock or his career, I don't think it will do much. Me personally, and I get it. You fighting a replacement opponent is quote unquote not your fault, which is cool. But I just think with all the scrutiny we have been giving other fighters about their resume, I don't think that this will move the needle for Shakur Stevenson. And he will just have to wait till the next fight to see who he fights. I hope his hands are healed. I think we're going to get an opportunity to see him fight and see how well he does with his hands. And if the Tank fight is coming up, I just want to make sure that Shakur Stevenson is. But why do y'all want to make the fight of Shakur Stevenson is not 100%? Everybody like, oh, if he feel his hands is hurt, why won't he fight him? Like, first of all, if his hands are hurt, why would y'all want him to fight him? I don't understand that. That makes absolutely no sense to me. But that's just my 2 cents. So let me know what you think about Shakur Stevenson and the fight coming up with his replacement opponent. Do you think that Shakur Stevenson needs to get the knockout? Let me know what you think by dropping your 2 cents below in the comments. Or you can give me a call at 281-845-2103 and leave me a voicemail. Follow me on IG at 2 Cents Boxing and follow me on X at 2 Cents 20. I'm Jay, and stay tuned for my 2 cents in the next video.